All right, talk to me about PROs, Performing Rights Organizations. And of course, we know those would be ASCAP, CSAC, and BMI.
Okay, well, performing rights organizations, PROs, are songwriters' friends. And what they do is they collect public performance royalties or public performance license fees on behalf of songwriters and publishers.
Okay.
And public performance is any performance, either of a recording or a live performance in a public place, an arena, a nightclub, a coffee shop, a church, a nightclub, a tavern, anything but a jukebox where music is played. That's a public performance.
So if I'm playing it live or someone else is covering my song, they're playing it live, or if they're playing a sound recording with a protected song underneath, that's what they collect money for.
Correct.
Okay.
And what happens is the songwriter affiliates with one of the three.
Okay.
So you join ASCAP, you become an ASCAP songwriter. You have to inform, you have to give them a list of your song titles so that they can collect. And when those songs are played out in the world, they collect on your behalf and they give you a share of the license fee. Now, the reality is they do a lot of, they collect from airplay on the radio and television because they can get that information, they can get that data. They listen electronically and actually physically, they have human beings listen. They collect on songs, or they distribute money from songs played on the top 200 grossing tours.
Oh, okay.
The reality is that if you go to Uncommon Ground and play a set of your songs, they're not collecting. I mean, they collect a license fee from Uncommon Ground, but they don't know that your songs were specifically performed on what night there. And you're not going to get any money from that. They're going to collect from the venue, but they're not going to know that David Taylor played on, October 4th, 7 original songs.
So who gets that money they collect?
Well, there's both ASCAP and BMI, and I don't know about CSEC, but both ASCAP and BMI now have a program where you can self-report.
Okay.
So you can say that I played at Uncommon Ground 6 times in 2012, and I played my 10 original songs. And the programs are slightly different. ASCAP has sort of a thing where they evaluate how often you played and what size venues you played in, that kind of thing. BMI pays on the data that you provide.
Okay.
So there's this sort of interesting unintended consequence. Not every venue is licensed by a PRO. And sometimes it's just because they've flown under the radar of the PRO. So let's say you're playing at, it's not Uncommon Ground, I'm sure they're licensed, but you're playing at some coffee shop in Chicago, and you're a BMI member, and you play twice a week an hour of originals. You like to be paid for that, right? So you go to the,
definitely.
Yeah, and you should be. So you go to the BMI website, and you say, we played at Adam's Coffee Shop twice a week, 2 hours, here's a list of my songs. Guess what? Adam's isn't licensed.
Wow.
Now BMI knows about Adam's Coffee Shop.
I see.
And Adam's Coffee Shop is going to be less than happy with you when BMI comes knocking on their door saying, we got BMI writers playing BMI songs. We need to get a license fee from you.
But it's understandable because it's property. If somebody was using my car, or somebody was living in my house, or somebody even borrowed my shirt, that's my property.
Right.
And my songs aren't any different.
And, Adam's Coffee Shop has you there for a reason. They're having original music for a reason. Either they think that's what their audience wants, or the owner just likes that kind of stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's part of the atmosphere they create. And that atmosphere is designed to attract customers to come into the coffee shop or the venue, whatever it is. So, you should be compensated for your songs. I'm just saying there's this unintended consequence, and Adam's Coffee Shop may not want you coming around anymore. So.
Well, they pay the electric company for the lights, and they pay the gas company for the heat, so they need to pay us for our music.
Well, and that brings me back to the Sonny Bono amendment, which was sort of a good news, bad news thing for songwriters. And the good news, of course, as we talked about, is that it extended the life of copyright from 50 years to 70 years. The bad news is that the restaurant lobby was very powerful, and they had a champion named Jim Sensenbrenner. He's a Republican representative from Wisconsin. And he added into the bill these exemptions for retail stores and for food establishments that said that if it's under, I think it's 2,150 square feet for retail and under 1,500 square feet for restaurant, and I might have them backwards, so you can look it up, they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay any license fee for music. And this goes back to exactly what you just said. You know, if it's a restaurant, they pick out the furniture, they pick out the tablecloth, they pick out the plates and the silverware and the glassware, they pick out the lighting. All of that goes into the decision of how they want to have the atmosphere or the ambiance of their restaurant, right? Not to mention the food, right?
Right, heat and the food products,
right? And they have to pay for that. Nobody goes, oh, you know what? You know, you can have your you can have your tablecloths for free.
Right.
So, and it doesn't matter whether it's 10,000 square foot restaurant or a 500 square foot restaurant. They're still paying for all those things, right?
Right.
But the law now allows them to avoid paying a music license fee. Whether they have live music or recorded music, doesn't matter. If they're under these two sizes, they get it for free.
Wow. Well, that's definitely good to know.